Hello, everyone. Welcome to X-Marks the Spot with me, your host, Richter Hammer. Joining me, as per usual, is Chris, aka the Mole.
A pleasure to be here in the Superdome.
Is it the Silver Dome? Anyway, Mr. James Phoenix.
Hello.
He's our
And
Brooklyn
Marcus.
brawler.
And Marcus Shadow.
What's up?
All right, so you know how we do it. Hopefully by now, we're going to give our awards, highlighting something over the past week in wrestling, and then we'll go through our match and promo of the night for any of the shows that we saw or saw part of or whatever. So, all right, let's get to it. So, first award, take it away, Marcus.
Alright, my first award is the hashtag Thank You Brock Award for the replay of Brock F5ing Cole from the previous week. Because I missed it that week, so I actually finally got to see it on the replay, and I'm like, thank you, Brock. Thank you, Brock. Because that was
nice.
a thing of beauty.
Nice, but not sure if cheating. But no, nice.
Wouldn't be cheating, considering, like I said, I saw it this week. I didn't see it the previous week. I don't know. That's how I look at it anyway.
Don't try to bring logic into this.
This is wrestling. We have no place for your logic.
I was partly joking with the cheating, but I thought the rule was it has to be on the week it debuted. Like, otherwise, Jim hasn't watched WCW. I highly anticipate his Bash at the Beach shorts. However, the F5 was awesome to Cole.
Yes.
And WWE changed their mind.
Oh?
Like, do you remember the official statement they had on WWE.com where they expected him back on Raw this week?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't there. Correct.
Correct.
Thus, they changed their mind because they clearly stated on WWE.com that I don't have to explain that again. But it's a case of they expected him there. He's not there.
True. Very true.
All right. So next, with your award, let's go with Mole.
Just because it's tradition to name any awards featuring this guy, this for me anyway. That's gotta be Kane. And that goes to Seth Rollins at the beginning of Raw, cutting a promo, and he kept mentioning about how like Big Show successfully won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I successfully won the World Heavyweight Championship, and Kane was also there. And starts to list all their stuff, and keeps ending it with, and Kane was there. And I'm like, that's kind of amazing. Kane looked pissed, and all throughout the night, they kept doing the same thing with Kane. Of he's like a disgruntled middle management guy, and I don't know why. That's kind of amazing. It's just like, and Kane was there. At least I found that funny.
That is funny.
And Kane was also there. All right, so Jim, your first award?
Sure. My first award, I called it Clap or Crap. Because I don't understand the New Day's gimmick.
Okay. When he said clap or crap, I was half expecting a Divas award.
No.
That
That would have been a good title for that as well, but no.
I don't know why.
I was in the airport, and this little boy came up to me and said, Big E, Mr. E, would you sign this? I think your gimmick is crap, but would you sign this for my brother? He loves you. And you know what I said to that boy? I said, sure, sonny, I'll be happy to sign that for you. And you know why I can do that? Because I clap. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Jeez. I like all three guys in the New Day, but who the hell? I even like their bright blue uniforms, but who the hell came up with this gimmick? If you're going to have them come out and clap and be a gospel choir, let them be religious. That gimmick works. It's how Batista got over.
I thought he got over by being friends with Triple H.
Well, that too. That never hurts, but still.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be heel or not. They seem to be like they're turning heel, so the crowd will hate them. But I couldn't decide.
Pretty much.
Yeah. My second award is a New Day for the New Day award, which is they're heel now. Also, I like their new outfits. The green, dark silver, and white. That's pretty cool looking outfits.
That did look pretty cool.
Yep, you could also call this a brand new day.
Yeah. Ha! There you go.
Nice. Okay. So for my first award, I call this, I believe this was this week, I might be messing up, but the Future Barry's Future Award, where I was kind of sad because I saw Neville was on Raw and then get curb stomped. And I was like, oh, but at least then he won on SmackDown. So, and obviously I'm joking. He's not burying him by beating him once. You know, I'm not making fun of Triple H with the ivory shovel or whatever it is. But yeah, and I think he
Which you stole from the ivory garage of your ivory tower.
He did. That's my shovel. I choose who to bury with it, but yeah. Except
I would have been very upset if Adrian Neville won, only because you're gonna give this guy the world title and then have him immediately lose.
Yeah.
Like no, that's the Intercontinental Champion's job.
You know, I was just surprised. It was like I guess they were trying to like not push him, but you know, like get him like FaceTime or whatever. So you're like, oh look, here's this new guy, but it's just kind of like, whoa, okay, he's just gonna fight him, and like I wonder how this is gonna turn out. Like, yeah, you know, he's not gonna win.
Yeah.
All right, so Marcus, you gave your second award, so Mole.
A new challenger has emerged. And this goes to Cena's Open Challenger number 2. Just because it seems to be building to something, I'm sorry, this is actually a great thing they're doing with the mid-card. His match with Dean Ambrose was cool. His match with Stardust is pretty cool. And it's actually making Dean Ambrose, Stardust, and the mid-carders look good. So it's like they're actually using him right. Like, instead of putting the title, like when they tried to put the World Heavyweight title on Jack Swagger to elevate him, instead they're using Cena to elevate the title, and that kind of works. They're doing a good job of this, and it's building, because half of this where he's challenging for the US title, I'm half expecting someone's going to debut for this. But even if they don't, at least it's a cool series of matches.
Oh yeah,
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'll admit, I was a little worried when they decided they were going to put the title on Cena. I'm like, oh god, what are they going to do with it? But this actually works, and it's actually a pretty smart move.
It does. Also, I also agree with Stardust dressing like Mr. Sinister.
Oh, we're getting to that.
All right, so Jim, your next award, number 2.
Alrighty, my favorite award of the night, I call it Book to the Future. Because Booker T does not know what year it is. Because I don't even remember which match it was during, but during the course of one of these matches, they were referencing some event that happened in 2004, and Booker T proceeds to say that it's now 2011. Luckily, at least JBL is paying attention, because JBL corrected him that, no, Book, it's 2015, I think your flux capacitor's broken, or something of that general effect. And then begin to spend the remainder of the match making Back to the Future jokes and Booker T.
To be fair, has much changed in the last 4 years?
No.
Or what, wrestling?
Yeah. And I was kidding. I mean, there's been enough changes.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, and think about it. I mean, 11 years is a long time ago. I mean, think about it. Think about it. 11 years ago at WrestleMania, John Cena won the United States Championship. Oh, wait.
I didn't say 11, I said 3. Or 4, however many it was.
I'm just saying. But yeah, no, I understand Booker T's mistake, because what he was trying to say, I think, was that the event in 2004 happened 11 years ago, and he accidentally said 2011 instead. So I give Booker T props. Not a mistake, but that was still one.
Nice.
Back to him.
Okay. All right. So, my next award is the Relate to the Party award for NXT, where they showed the this week's episode. they showed the semifinals and the finals of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale entry slot, and so, like almost 2 weeks ago, we already knew who won. So like at least the matches were pretty good, but it's just kind of funny that they're like hyping up like, we already know what happened. Not even like it was the next one. That was like almost 2 weeks ago.
Maybe it's gonna retcon it.
Maybe. Ooh, that would have been funny as hell, actually. Kevin Owens comes out, he's like, I win it now.
It's all building to Hideo Itami turning heel and claiming he won.
There you go.
Hey, you got Axel over.
Yeah.
In the worst way. He's the new Sean Stasiak.
Oh, man. His greatest thing was being in Mortal Kombat. Oh, meat reference. All right. So, next up with your third award, Marcus.
All right, my third award, actually, as I hinted at, it's the Mr. Sinister Award for Stardust's new Mr. Sinister cape thing. It's like, okay, that was interesting for WrestleMania, but that's really going to be his permanent look. It's like, that's kind of weird.
He's
like,
a
I
weird
don't know
character.
that I know, but I don't know that I like that cape thing. It just, I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't like it. Did you become the horse from whatever that show was? Anyway. Okay, so Mole, your third award?
Say my name. And this goes to the crowd. This goes to the crowd during the Stardust Cena match for chanting, Cody, 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 Cody. To which Stardust keeps looking at him and screams, it's Stardust! Which means they start to chant Cody at Stardust to annoy him. That's kind of funny. I don't know why, that's kind of funny. I hope that continues. I don't know why, I just like that. Cody, Cody, it's Stardust!
Nice.
That is pretty funny, but is it to annoy him, or is it because they want Cody back as Cody? Or both?
I'll assume because he's heel and they boo him when he comes out, I'll assume it's to just annoy him.
Fair enough.
Or to play with him, or whatever you want to call it.
Fair enough.
All right. Jim, your third award?
Alrighty, let's see here. Next on my list. That's kind of an interesting award that I gave her. I called it Work in Progress. And whether the progress will succeed, I don't know. But I gave this award to Naomi because I think this... I don't know if this is a new finisher she used in the Divas match, but she did this move where she basically, she DDT'd Nikki Bella with her legs, which I thought was a clever move. I thought it was really cool. I just think she needs to work on it and polish it up because there wasn't any momentum behind it. She jumped in, locked the legs around Nikki Bella, and then brought her down without really any momentum or any, there wasn't really a jolt to it. So it didn't look all that impressive. But if she could actually, work with the girls, get that, master to be able to hit that move with the fluid momentum, and that could look really devastating. So I give credit to Naomi for at least having a good idea for a finisher. Now she just has to work on the execution.
She also needs to work on not botching.
Well, that too. But
I mean, literally during that match, she botched so much when she was doing those stupid little flips.
Mhm.
I believe she may be the actual definition of a diva that's a spot monkey, because all she does is the flips, and when she does them, you see her legs slide off the ropes way too often.
Yeah. I was just happy to see a finisher of her that kind of looked impactful and didn't involve sending her ass into someone's face. So I was happy to have an actually impactful, decent-looking finisher.
Oh, I could agree that the move could have been cool. I was just saying that the rest of the match, or surrounding the move.
Pretty much.
Okay. My third award, again, of course, from NXT, was the Just for Marcus award, where Hideo Itami had 2 matches. So they had twice as many times to completely tease the GTS, and they did it 3 times total.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck you, WWE.
All right.
Maybe
So,
I'm gonna.
yeah.
I was making the case of maybe it's been banned.
We will see.
Only because, because he slams him down onto his leg and stuff. I'm thinking maybe
Mm.
Punk got away with it, like Undertaker got away with it when they were banned tombstones. But it's like how Orton keeps teasing the Punk kick, but every time it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why? But of all the people to ban it, why would you ban the guy who created the move from using it? That's
Because
kind of stupid.
Because he wasn't in WWE at the time they did it, and he hasn't learned WWE style as much. That's why he's on NXT. I don't mean that in a negative way. It just means that like him doing that to another wrestler could be more damaging than CM Punk, because CM Punk will have learned the WWE way of protecting people.
I suppose. I don't know. I just figure if he created the move, he probably knows how to do it without actually hurting anybody.
You would
Probably.
think.
Or maybe that's just me.
Okay, Marcus, your fourth award.
The one who's going to laugh my ass off at the payoff for that is he keeps teasing it, and then finally one night he goes to do it, and Punk just jumps out of the crowd, hits it on him, and it's like, that is how you do the move!
There you go.
I could see that.
All right, Marcus, your fourth award.
Fair enough. My fourth award is the Possible Genius Award, and that's to John Cena and WWE Creative for creating an answer to the negativity surrounding John Cena's 5 Moves of Doom, whereby Cena tries for the 5-knuckle shuffle and fails. He then pulls out his new move, the Springboard Stunner, to set up for the AA, which is almost genius if you think about it, because what I feel they need to do with that, have him actually succeed with the shuffle once in a while, mix it up, so that the stunner thing doesn't become repetitive to the point that it's just a replacement for the 5 Moves of Doom. And if you do that and give him, the 2 possible setups, maybe throw in a 3rd possible setup for the AA, and you mix it up so you don't know what he's going to do every match, I think that'd be a genius move of John Cena and WWE Creative's part to freshen up John Cena and make him, a better wrestler in the ring.
Oh, that's kind of ironic.
Why?
Just for what's coming next.
Fair enough.
And it's not the opposite of what you said or anything like that. I do agree that it's clever. It was just linked to something, if that makes sense.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's my fourth award.
Nice.
All right. So, Mole, your fourth award.
Welcome to Network is Jericho for the podcast with John Cena, in which he starts off by Jericho addressing him as the guy who famously had 5 moves of doom, and then goes, but I watched your match on Raw, I think you've now got 7 moves of doom, to which Cena mentions, yeah, but if you noticed, I kind of messed one of them up, but I was able to do the new one because in my mind I can only keep 5 moves going at once, so the other 2 have now been dropped from my memory.
He actually said that?
Yes.
Nice! That's awesome!
And that's how it's tied.
Nice!
Yeah.
Yeah, but the interview's awesome. You get personal stories with Cena, like on the road, traveling with Jericho, stuff they got up to. I mentioned to the others at the beginning a while back of one of the great stories was he mentioned about The Rock having those promos on his wrist, and he mentioned it's because WWE was protecting The Rock, but they weren't protecting Cena. They were telling Cena he can't fight back against The Rock with words. Oh, pardon me, I had to mute for a second, I coughed. But yeah, they were saying he couldn't actually basically fight back with words. And right before he went out there and he really wants to fight back, he wants to make them, equal, so it would be a once-in-a-lifetime match type situation. Right. It wouldn't be the best for someone who's not good enough to be in the ring with him. And basically, before he goes out there, the ref says to Cena, what's that on his wrist? And points to The Rock. And Cena looks and sees all of his notes for his promo. And Cena's looking at him and he's like, whoa, I've struck gold. And he grins and he mentions, you're The Rock. You don't need this. The fact of the matter is, The Rock's coming out there and he's half-assing it because WWE is allowing him to half-ass it. No, I don't want to go against Dwayne. I want to go against The Rock. And he mentioned, so he says it in there, and The Rock was pissed and stuff, and he said, and The Rock did forgive him, and he gave The Rock he gave him a bottle of something, as like to say, look, whatever I say out there, I don't mean it personally, we're just trying to do business. The Rock thanked him and stuff. And he said after that, The Rock didn't have his promos on his wrist, and he went back to being The Rock, and WWE took the restraints off Cena and allowed him to go toe-to-toe with The Rock on the microphone. Mm-hmm. And as a result, fans got into the rivalry a lot more and just various stuff like that. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. And yeah, you could argue some of this was staged. Like Cena mentions, he actually recorded new theme music for turning heel.
Oh, wow.
He said a couple of years back, WWE asked me, do you want to turn heel? And I said, okay, if you think it's the right time. And I went off and I went to record music and we went to do all this planning about what I was going to do as a heel. But there wasn't any faces who were left to actually challenge me if I went heel. They hadn't done a good job of building up the next Cena. So he said, so they had to keep me in there. And he also did the typical thing, as like you mentioned, he said, I don't care if people boo me. I don't care if people cheer me. He goes, and some people come up to me, like some grown men come up to me and go, hey, why don't you turn heel? Why don't you turn heel? And Cena says, why? You already boo me. I'm the best heel in the business. All that's going to change is that little kid there whose face lights up every time I come out. He's going to be wondering what happened to his hero. Nothing else changes. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of the same shtick you always say, but it's kind of cool to hear that he was at least willing to turn heel, if that makes sense. Mm. And he had actually gone off and tried to do new music and stuff. And like I said, it was a great podcast. It was different to the Vince and Triple H ones, just because Jericho, whereas Austin was interviewing basically the man, if you will, inside there, Jericho was interviewing another wrestler, so as a result, they were more loose with each other, if that makes sense. Like they were more personal experience, they were more free-flowing, which I think like Austin and Triple H could have done that a little bit more, and they were definitely more that than Austin and Vince. But I think Austin The Rock would be more that, if that makes sense. But Jericho was doing it with Cena, because Jericho even mentioned, Jericho says, I actually shed a tear for you. And Cena was like, really? And he's like, yeah, because I remember seeing you in the 6-man tag on SmackDown, and you were the man in that matchup with all the big faces like Edge and stuff like that. He said, and what happened the next week? And I was there and I helped put you over. I then get drafted to Raw, and the next week you're on Heat, and Cena corrected him, and it was Velocity, sorry. And he goes, jobbing out to Bull Buchanan. He's like, why is that? No. And Cena's like, yeah, because at the time I looked like everyone else and I sounded like everyone else. I didn't have an identity until I became a rapper. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. And Cena also addressed the fact that he said he finds it hard to communicate with some of the guys in the back now because the roster's changed since so much since he was a young up-and-comer. Like, he'll get guys come up to him and say, I don't know. I want more. And Cena said, well, you need to take risks. You need to do this. And the guys are looking and go, well, that's easy for you to say. To which Cena's like, yeah, it is easy for me to say because I've done that. But they weren't here when I had to do that. Now I'm just the man to them. And I'm like, you know what I mean? It's a great interview. I highly recommend it. It's only 30 minutes long, but it's pretty fun.
And did Jericho then respond, now you know how I feel, Junior?
No, he didn't.
All right, so Jim, your fourth award?
Sure. Let's see what I give my fourth award to. I gave my fourth award. No, this is the last. I gave my fourth award. I didn't have a name for it, but I just thought this was worth mentioning because I guess the WWE fail. I guess we can call it. I don't know. Something.
I'll give you a name, Michelangelo style.
Okay.
No.
Well, basically, apparently, despite putting up a video of, you know how they put those nice side plates on the WWE Championship now? Well, despite the fact they put up a video showing Seth Rollins having his side plates installed, you might notice he has not had them on TV, and that's because the ones they ordered didn't fit. So they had to reorder the side plates. Just thought I'd mention that.
That shouldn't be as funny as it is.
I know.
And I would also make the joke of, isn't that a little ironic?
I know.
A couple of weeks back, he was shown naked with a little package that wouldn't fill anything, and now he has something that's too filling.
Nice.
Penis joke.
Bam. All right, so for my fourth award, ties directly into the one before it, but this is the How to Break the Internet Award, where there was a live event on Friday before WrestleMania, an NXT one, and they actually have Hideo Itami hit the GTS. And like, it's funny though, like he puts him up, and I'm like, wait, are they actually gonna do it? And he like, starts to put him over, and I'm like, oh wow, they're actually gonna have him hit it. And then like right as it's gonna hit, they like cut to the crowd. I'm like, really? With like people had like cell phone video and stuff, and they kind of showed it, and how like the internet exploded. Like, oh my god, he finally hit it! Ah, and it was just kind of, I was laughing like, that's cool, you let him do it, but wait, right when it's gonna impact, you're like, sorry, people watching on the network. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, I didn't even know he hit it. I found out, 2 weeks later when they showed that. I was like, what?
Nice, which will also say it wasn't banned.
Yeah.
But I will say, that makes me a little sad.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about that on the internet.
I know.
But yeah, I know what colour the dress was.
Nice.
Well played.
I'm sorry, we haven't mentioned that damn dress at all during any of our podcasts. Someone had to mention it once.
Mm-hmm.
It was clearly black and blue.
You broke the streak.
No, it was clearly black and blue. So one of you nannies to argue, no, it was white and gold.
It was clearly a dress.
Nice.
All right, so now on to our fifth award. So take it away, Marcus.
All right, my final award, I call it the Sacked Award to WWE for announcing that they will be pushing the Royal Rumble back a week to January 31st because the week that they had planned to do the Royal Rumble is going to be the NFL Conference Championship games. And as we all know, the NFL will dramatically hurt WWE's bottom line on that Sunday, so they pushed it back. So they would get all the pay-per-view buys and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could have been worse. At least they weren't booked in the same arena as a major sporting event. Never the bottom.
True.
Yeah. And as we all know, professional football players go on to not even need to train to become wrestlers. Cough Goldberg. Damn, sorry, I was too late to do the actual cough.
Cough The Rock, cough Roman Reigns, cough Ron Simmons.
To be fair, all of those actually trained in wrestling. Goldberg was the only one that went on record as saying, I didn't need to train, I'm a fucking footballer, I'm already an athlete. No, you're an athlete in a different sport. That's like, oh, Tiger Woods can play golf, let's put him in an MMA ring.
There you go.
That's not how this works.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah. And it's like, no wonder his matches were crap.
It's all explained.
Yep.
It is explained.
All right. So, Mole, your fifth award?
My fifth award was Tomko, give me a beat.
No.
Thank you. And that was for WWE Music Power 10 that debuted on the network. Seriously, you need to watch it just to say, what the fuck? It's described as celebrating the music of whatever, like the top 10 music of whatever it's going to do. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
They've chose WrestleMania 30. One. I just caught myself there. I actually fixed my mistake before someone could correct me. WrestleMania 31. WrestleMania Play. But basically, with that, and it starts with number 10, LL Cool J. Not for singing, for just being LL Cool J. What the hell? We then have Bray Wyatt's music with the scarecrows and stuff, and we see him coming out. That was kind of cool. But then it straight away cuts to The Rock's music, which wasn't that good. But Renee mentions, and The Rock makes it for his surprise entrance at WrestleMania. I'm like, no? You're meant to be. It's described as the music, not the event. Because I would make a case of if it was about the event, The Rock should be much higher. If it's about the music, his music kind of sucks. There's better music in that fucking ladder match alone. Doesn't come up. We then cut from that one to other ones. I think after that it cuts to the 2 live WrestleMania songs at once, which is weird. Of the song that totally needs to be James's new theme song of Rise. I mean, come on, it even mentions like a phoenix, we're going to rise from the ashes. Come on, over and over again. He needs to take that. He needs to freshen up his gimmick a bit. But it's a case of, and then it also cuts to the other rapping song I don't give a shit about. At the same time as a joint number, then we have like Undertaker for his mysterious entrance. Again, what the fuck? Then it's Sting, and like all the way at number 1 is Triple H because he had cool Terminator stuff. No, it's called music. I understand Triple H's theme song is actually a really good theme song. Motorhead kicks ass. But they list it before the music. And it's like, none of this makes sense. It's like they planned it out, and I didn't even read all of them, or mention all of them, I don't think, but they say it's about the music, and the second it starts off with, and our first guest is LL Cool J, not for singing, but for the fact he's LL Cool J, and it mentions all the stuff he's won. I'm like, yeah, LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out. He has done music, cool. He didn't do it at WrestleMania. What the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
You definitely need to check it out. It's really short, but it's like, what the fuck is this? Because when I first saw it, WWE Music Power 10, I was like, okay, it's a list of the greatest theme songs. I figured there might be some discussions about the songs. No, it's just showing up with Renee mentioning a little bit at the beginning of each one. Oh, that's what one of them was, John Cena's. For the American intro at the beginning that had no music.
Brilliant.
Another one was Rusev because he had a tank. What? I'm now confused. It seems to be it's about the entrance itself, not the music. Fair enough. But you've called it wrong and you've labelled it a little wrong.
Yeah, it should be an entrance list, which would work.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my one. WWE Music Power 10. Available now on the WWE Network.
All right. So, Jim, your 5th award? Oh, wait, you didn't have a 5th one, right? You only had 4.
Ooh, you just chastised him live. Nice. That's payback, isn't it?
Now I feel bad. Well, I didn't think you mentioned it here, so then I didn't remember. Okay.
No, see, now he's quiet because he's crying, or he's Googling to try and find out what colour that dress was.
All right, so my 5th and final award was it's the Not Every Way award for we'll talk more about this, but they had a video package for Hideo Itami on NXT, and at the end Triple H is like, Hideo Itami won in every way imaginable at WrestleMania. And I'm like, well, except, actually winning. I understand what he was going for, but it was like, well, that's like that'd be a nicer quote if he, did actually win. It's not every way imaginable. I can imagine 1 or 2 more, but yeah.
Have you seen that video yet? I mentioned a few weeks back that wrestling isn't wrestling.
No, not yet. I need to see that.
That sort of reminds me of, like I pointed out at the time, like Triple H, he clearly doesn't understand what winning is a lot of times because, like, he lost to Undertaker, yet acted like he won the match the whole time. Yeah. What?
I'll show that to Richter after this.
Nice. We should do a special video at that. If Richter's seen it, you'll have seen it, Jim's seen it. We should do a special Squared Circle, whatever the fuck it's called, Squared Circle specials, featuring Rick where we discussed that special. It's like 30 minutes, I think, or 15.
Speaking of which, did Richter know about the Squared Circle specials?
He does.
Yes.
Cool. Just checking.
All right, so now on to our match and promo of the night for the various shows. So, take it away, Mole.
Promo of the night went to Sheamus. Just because I'm sorry, I found that hilarious of the crowd. You look stupid. You look stupid. He's like, shh. The grown-ups are speaking, and they stop. And then he delivers a cool promo about there's not many my size, and out comes Henry. And I mean Mark Henry, not the green train from Thomas the Tank. But that's a reference I shouldn't be making. But
You know, though, that would have been a lot more impressive. No offense to Mark Henry. Toot toot. This train comes up.
And why do I know the long green one was called Henry? Like the long red one was James, the long blue one was Gordon.
I blame Lego Dimensions.
I blame my childhood. But yeah, I like Thomas when I was a kid.
Now,
But yeah.
I know there has to be one. I want to see on the Kree, whatever the online one is. Someone should have made a Sir Topham hat for a manager.
Yes. My client is a really useful superstar.
Yes.
But yeah, match tonight, I gave it to Adrian Neville versus Seth Rollins. Hence why I was quiet when Richter mentioned it.
Oh.
Just because that was a fucking awesome matchup. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that gets Adrian Neville over in a huge way. I saw some people be like, oh, but when he lost in his match, I'm like, how'd you... I mean, yes, we know ECW is a thing, but for the WWE fans, how did RVD get over? Was it not coming really close to beating Austin for the title with the invasion stuff?
Yeah.
Did Jericho not become huge in WWE for beating Triple H only to have it reversed like the next week because Triple H is a dick? That gets people over. It's not like he went out there and just jobbed to Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
He looked
No, it's true.
like he looked like he belonged in the ring with the champion. That's fucking huge. And I was like, and it was a great quality match. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wait. All right. So I don't know if is Jim there.
Jim is here.
All right. So you're match and promo
Can I-
tonight.
Can I also suggest, Rick?
Yes. Yes.
Whoever Sir Topham Hatt or the Fat Controller manages, he needs to have a Thomas the Tank on his T-shirt and do the Ho Train as a finisher. Ooh,
Nice. Nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's see here. Well, I just want to note I did have an award for SmackDown movie to the USA Network. I pulled that at the last minute and I forgot, so just to mention
Oh,
that. I did do that. But yeah, my match of the night, well, I give it to Rollins versus Neville because that was a really good match. I had a feeling that Rollins was going to win, but it was still really athletic and it was good back and forth between those two guys, and I look forward to seeing more matches between them in the future. And my promo of the night, I give it to the Primetime Players for showing that they can actually be a semi-relevant tag team by ragging on the other tag teams in the division, which was pretty funny and entertaining, and they did a good job. So, millions of dollars. There we go. Back to him.
Yeah, I did like them. I did like them making fun of the tension and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So Marcus, your match and promo of the night.
And I didn't realize I was muted.
Oh.
I said, but to be fair, the Primetime Players are still no match for the team of Tyson Kidd on his own.
My match,
This
my
is
match
true.
and my match and promo are the same as Jim's.
Oh, okay.
I gave it to Neville versus Rollins in the Primetime Players because Neville versus Rollins was a
Rip off
really good
unoriginal.
match. Hey, it's not my fault. He chose you to go first. But yeah, I gave it to Neville versus Rollins just because that was a really good match, and it, as Mole pointed out, it did make Neville look really strong despite the fact that he lost. Because honestly, second night out on Raw, first actual match on Raw, and it's against the WWE champion. Come on, that's huge.
Yeah.
And then Primetime Players, just because I always thought that Titus O'Neil was better as a face and better with the Primetime Players, and they're funny. And the promo was just really good, and I like the look of the Primetime Players now that Darren Young has the scruffier look instead of the pretty boy look. I think it works.
You didn't think he was better with Heath Slater? When they had Hornswoggle dressed as a little dinosaur? Or a little gator, probably?
No.
I like
I just
gator.
and I just genuinely thought this promo was really good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was glad they put them back together just because now I got another team for my universe, and so they split up a load of the other ones recently when I reset my universe. But I was like, because I remember this is the one year I was disappointed Heath Slater wasn't on the roster. So like, oh come on, I want to put him in this. Come on.
True, but now you can download Callisto and make Lucha Dragons.
No, okay. I like their team. I just don't like using CAWs off existing wrestlers because they don't look as good.
Fair enough.
All right. So, for my match of the night from NXT was Neville versus Itami. It was the first one of the first one of the night for the. We already knew who was going to win because it was for the Andre the Giant Battle Royale entry slot, so I knew Neville wasn't going to win. But it was a really good one. Yes.
We all have Adrian Neville matches, and we all have matches in which he lost, yet they're not the same match.
I know.
What?
It's a weird
Mind blown.
But I was kind of surprised because they both were like working the crowd, which was kind of cool because I haven't really seen him do it. It was weird. Like Neville was like not like cheating heel stuff, but he was like doing heel stuff, like trying to get boos and stuff, which was kind of weird. And also there was one part where Itami was trying to do the corner drop kick, and Neville just super kicked him, and it looked really good. It's one of those things where you see it and you go, oh.
I will say, ironically, because I didn't mention it during the other bit, obviously, but ironically, that's something else that Cena mentioned during the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned there was a load of great people that came from where him and Orton and Batista and Brock all came from in one year. However, they were always doing it to small, tiny little crowds. The NXT ones nowadays are getting to do it in front of loads of people and in front of the WWE Network and stuff. So they're being told what works and what doesn't by the crowd. So they're learning more crowd reaction and crowd playing. Because Cena mentioned when he first came up to the main roster and the crowd started to react to him, and you see him with that weird grin on his face-ish the first time, not every other promo since. But the first time, it was because he didn't know what the fuck to do. Because he wasn't used to working with those bigger crowds. He's like, and the NXT guys now, like Adrian Neville, he comes up to the main roster, and when he's on the main roster, he's already used to working to big crowds, and that's a huge advantage. Like, he's got a point there. And I was like, that's a little interesting thing. But I'm sorry, continue.
It is. And my promo of the night was that whole video package of basically Hideo Itami's journey from where it starts out, like where he signed with WWE in Japan, and Hulk Hogan called him out and like that, and it showed some of the behind the scenes stuff, on his journey from like Japan to where he was going at WrestleMania and just traveling, and you could see like his kids and stuff. And I thought it was pretty cool. Like I like seeing some of those behind the scenes stuff, and you see like Seth Rollins talking to him, comes up like total, not in character or anything. He's like, oh man, he's like, you came up real quick, and he's like, yeah. He's like, it took me 3 years to get on my first WrestleMania. You did it in 6 months, and then excuse me. After his match, he's all like emotional, whatever, and then he goes back and he's like, better. And then like all the people out there were coming, well, not all of them, but like a lot of the wrestlers was there. Like the New Day walks by and they're like, good job, man, like shaking his hand or whatever. And like Big Show, who eliminated him, comes. He's like, good job out there, man. He's like, look forward to working with you. He's like, pats him because he's gigantic compared to Hideo Itami. But it's just kind of cool to see them like, saying like, hey, new guy, it's pretty cool to work with you and good job out there and all of that stuff. It was just pretty cool. I liked it.
I always like stuff like that. Although I have to ask, if
Yes.
he was working in Japan and Hulk Hogan called him over, how long was it till he realised that Americans don't end every sentence by referring to someone as their sibling?
I don't know. That'd be amazing. He just comes and he's like, "Hello, brother," and they're like, "No, we don't all do that." And he's like, "Oh."
Oh.
That would be awesome.
Well, that would be awesome. Just, yeah. Hello, brother. What are you doing? And he has to explain. You all say brother at the end of sentences. Brother. No, we don't. Who taught you that? Suddenly Hulk Hogan walks by like, okay, I get it.
They're just like, "Oh."
You're going to have to take me to someone else to speak English, Hogan. And he's like, fine. Suddenly the next day he's like, hello.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh man, that'd be wonderful. I will put the plane in nosedive.
Hey, to be fair, that's not a joke at his expense. That's just a joke at his character's expense.
Yeah.
You shall feel the power of diversity.
Brother.
Yeah. Hideo comes out and he's like, "Oh yeah."
In order to work in WWE, you need to learn to speak English, brother. And at the time, he's like, fine. He goes to the main roster. It's like, Great Khali walks out. Oh, it's like, at the time, it's like, what the fuck? What did you tell me? Well, okay, you either need to speak perfect English, yeah, or be a giant monster. He comes back in the next day on stilts.
With golden spiky hair.
Yes.
All right.
Then she's at Burger King. He says, "I want Whopper."
Yeah.
And it was
Brother. Yeah, I want Oopa, brother. All right, so there you have it. Our awards and match and promo of the week. So I'd like to thank everyone here for joining me.
You're welcome.
In stereo.
Alright. Yeah, come on, class. Thank you, Mr. Hammer.
Oh man, that's somehow terrifying. All right, so
And then you said that, all that's reminding me is of the creepy children from the vignettes from Jericho's Last Return.
Yeah. If it helps when dealing with children, just picture them in underwear. Works at Pee Wee Herman.
Wow.
oh man, nice.
Okay then.
All right, so thank everyone for joining us for another week, and hope to see you next week for some more wrestling recap and awards. So thank you very much for joining me, and good night.
Brother.
Yes.